Hey Brick Maniacs, welcome back to another Monday Sit Rep. An important note from me, however, before we get started, you'll notice the Modern Russian Special Forces minifigure is back on brickmania.com. Obviously, our schedule is set well in advance, so there's nothing opportune about the restocking of that figure at this particular time. However, we do want to be sensitive to the situation in the Ukraine. Basically, how we've decided to move forward with this is we are going to restock the figure, as I've said, and then we are going to donate a portion of the proceeds for each figure purchased to the Ukrainian Red Cross. So that is how we are choosing to deal with the rather ill timing of this figure showing back up on brickmania.com. I'll just leave it at that, and we'll move on into the Monday Sit Rep. All right, Brick Maniacs, if you are in the market for oversized German armor, this is definitely your week because the E100 is back on restock pre-order, previously part of last year's Wunderwaffe weapons lineup. It is now back for the first time since its initial release. Definitely some cool play features on this bad boy. As you can see, got a little function back here that allows you to move the entirety of the turret, as well as this function on top of the turret that allows you to elevate and depress the gun. Notice that awesome 3D printed muzzle brake on this, not to mention a whole bunch of custom printing. You can see those hatches there as well as the details here along the side and across the engine. That hatch does indeed open. Kind of little greebles all over the place everywhere you look. And then a very unique looking Commander minifigure that comes with this as well. Notice that 3D and UV printed headgear that goes with that guy and those fairly epic suspenders included as well. So a lot to love about this. And if this is your bag, this is definitely a must-have because it will dwarf the rest of the German armor that you have in your collection, to say the least, because this build is absolutely massive. So the E100 back on restock pre-order on brickmania.com. Also back, the Panther House of G, which I totally just knocked one of the antennas off of. It's laying there on the ground, my apologies. But we can still take a look at this build. This one's been around for a minute here now. You can tell by the camo, kind of went with a lineup of previous releases, but this has been a popular requested restock, so we decided to bring it back once again. As you can see, you got printing along the turret, printing along the sides, play features including that turret basket, mounted brick arms, posable main gun, and of course that 3D printed muzzle brake, just like with the E100. Smooth rolling tracks, opening hatches, and of course, a little bit older, but still an epic custom minifigure, also included with this build. The Panther House of G, back on restock pre-order, now on brickmania.com. Continuing with our pre-orders, the OH58D Kiowa Warrior, which is, man, when this thing came out, I was just so happy. So I was lucky enough to be able to scoop the Blackbird right before it went out of production, which is obviously, you know, the Bad Egg is an iconic build in and of itself, but we were just missing a small black special ops helicopter so bad when that thing left, and finally, when we got this contract with Bell to be able to bring this back, it's like, hooray, we finally have an epic spec ops helicopter back on brickmania.com, and this definitely fits the bill. You can see it's got all the epic greebles. Dan packed it full of as much as he could, considering its frame. I love the unique loadouts on either side. The fact that it's not, you know, duplicate across or mirror images of itself, I think really adds some nice character to the build. Obviously, it's functional, does everything you want it to with the spinning rotors on the rear and on the front there, and then everything, all these printed details. You can see greebles just all over the place included in there. Plus, I mean, come on, who doesn't want that big old GU18 barrel on their brick arms? Really, really sharp looking build, and very functional too. I mean, considering all the angles and everything he's got going on in here, I mean, it's definitely swooshable. You can fly this bad boy around and have a real good time with it. So a build I highly recommend and a welcome addition to my collection, and hopefully yours as well. Does also come with a crew of 2 minifigures, so we'll show those guys off real quick here, provided we can get them in focus, which is a big if. There we go. Yeah, crew of 2. 3D and UV printed headgear, and obviously epic artwork all over the figures. And then moving on, before we do a quick rundown of all the minifigs back in action, we do have the OHKA, the Kamikaze attack aircraft, which I still can't get over how much this looks like a cute little spaceship that you might have, you know, designed when you were younger, just playing with some extra bricks. And yet, obviously, this is something so much more sinister, but an important piece of history, and something that translates very interestingly into Lego. You can see kind of the angling there that was used previously on, God, why am I forgetting this right? The X1. The X1 is kind of where that wing design, those connections here to get that angling really came about, and obviously in a smaller scale here, but it works really, really well to get that front swoop, which is difficult to capture, needless to say. Nice and solid, fun little piece. I don't know, convert it to a friendly spaceship or keep it because it's important. I don't know. You do your own thing. UV printed all over the place. Details down and up the side. No stickers on this bad boy. Does also come with a one-way pilot minifig. All right, there we go. We finally get a little better look at our pilot there. I also want to go through the rundown of minifigures that are also available on brickmania.com right now. We have the modern stealth fighter pilot, the U.S. Navy Cold War fighter pilot, the modern Russian Special Forces, the modern U.S. Navy SEAL, the perfect caliber Brick Arms AKS-74U with composite magazine, and the perfect caliber SOT Mod Brick Arms M4 TAC. And that will do it for your rundown back on brickmania.com. All right, Brickmaniacs, that'll just about do it for a Monday sit rep. Remember to mark the weekend of April 9th as the grand opening for our Miramar location in San Diego, California, and the weekend of April 16th as the grand opening for our Mare Island location in Vallejo, California. Very excited to officially get both of those stores up off the ground, and of course have the crew out there to shake some hands and see all the Brickmaniacs on the West Coast that have been awaiting these stores' arrival for so long. So that will do it for a Monday sit rep. Thank you very much for watching.